So we've got the US Open starting up in a couple of days' time, and of course there's so many ranking points on the line when we go to these Grand Slams. Let's go have a look at who has the most to gain and the most to lose, because it's actually pretty interesting, because last year's US Open was a lot of upsets, but also the champions were very high ranked as well. Let's start on the WTA side of things with the players with the most to lose in this event. Starting with Muchova, she made the semifinals last year. She's currently number 12 in the world and has 780 points to defend. So her ranking might go backwards before it goes forwards in the future. Navarro the same. She's number 11 in the world and she has to defend 780 points as well. And her season hasn't been great. So a lot of pressure on her going into this tournament. Of course, Pegula, she made the final last year. She's number 4 in the world currently. That ranking is definitely in jeopardy if she can't repeat what she did last year. And Sabalenka, of course, number 1 in the world, 2,000 points on the line. And with Swiatek getting better and better the last couple of months, Sabalenka's got a lot of pressure to try and save as many points as she can. Players that have the most to gain at this tournament, Anisimova. She lost in the first round last year to Zhang, number 9 in the world currently, so there's a lot of upside for her to get herself right in the middle of that top 10. Keys only made the third round last year. She also has a lot of points that she could gain and go towards top 4. She's currently 6 in the world. Rybakina, she made the second round last year, had to withdraw, and then of course didn't play until the WTA finals. So number 10 in the world currently, and her form has been great. So she's got a lot of upside, Rybakina, going into the last part of the season, including this tournament. And Andreeva, same thing, second round. Number 5 in the world currently, could really entrench herself in the middle of that top 10 and also push her way to the WTA finals and qualifying for that. So very interesting how there's a lot of points on the line for some key top 10 players, but a lot of the top 10 players also have a lot of gain. Over on the men's side of things, Draper, number 5 in the world currently. He has 800 points on the line. Hasn't played since Wimbledon as well in the singles. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he looks, but also has a lot to defend. Tiafoe, 17 in the world. He has also 800 points to defend the semifinals from last year. So if he doesn't get at least to the second week, his ranking might drop outside the top 20. Fritz, number 4 in the world. He's got 1,300 points to defend. So again, trying to keep that top 5 ranking is going to be really tough this time. And Sinner, of course, number 1 in the world, 2,000 points on the line. And with Alcaraz slowly gaining on him, he really needs to do well and try and defend this title the best he can. Points to gain, speaking of Alcaraz, he only has a second round from last year to defend. He's number 2 in the world, obviously, now, and closing the gap on Sinner. So if we were to get a crazy upset from Sinner and Alcaraz went on to win the title, the rankings are going to look so interesting up the very, very top. Shelton, he made the third round last year. He's only got 100 points to defend, number 6 in the world currently, so really could push towards that top 5 ranking. Djokovic only has his third round to defend as well, number 7 in the world, and a real good opportunity for Djokovic here if he can get through that first week and try and make the semifinals. He could start rising his ranking, because it seems like over the last 12 months, since this tournament last year, his ranking has slowly declined. So a real good opportunity for Djokovic to push towards that top 5 or maybe even top 4 if he does have a good run. And Khachanov, number 9 in the world, he's back in the top 10 for the first time in a while and only made the first round last year. So real opportunity for him to gain some extra points as well. And he's been playing really well lately. So he could really get to maybe top 8 in the world, which is a career high for him if he does get above number 8 in the world. So good opportunity for Khachanov as well, who just got back in the top 10 last week. So again, points on the line there. But again, the world number 1 ranking is kind of on the line as well, which is really interesting on both the men and women's side. So there it is. A lot of points on the line. And this US Open is going to be very important. And it's going to probably shape how the rest of the season looks, at least when it comes to the world number 1 ranking. Of course, Sinner's number 1 right now. Sabalenka's number 1. But Swiatek and Alcaraz are slowly starting to climb up and slowly starting to take them over. Of course, both of Sabalenka and Sinner have had a great end of the season. If you remember last year, Sinner basically didn't lose except for that one match in Beijing for the rest of the year, and Sabalenka was pretty unbeatable as well until sort of the WTA finals. But yeah, very interested to see how this number 1 race pans out and also how the US Open goes. Let me know in the comments below. Who's going to be number 1 at the end of the year? Do you think it's going to be Sinner and Sabalenka, or do you think it's going to be a different combination? Maybe you think Coco Gauff could go and do something special, because she's not that far behind Swiatek, who's not that far behind Sabalenka when it comes to the ranking points if you take the US Open points out of it. But there it is. Those are the points on the line going into the US Open, and it starts on Sunday.